What is going on, everyone? Welcome to our Sunday Week 17 live stream for the NFL. We will be going through our top 5 games on the slate today, wrapping things up with Sunday Night Football. Make sure you're tuning into our chat. Leave us your fantasy questions, betting questions, favorite plays of the day, whatever you got. Throw it in the chat there, and we'll get to that at some point here. We're going to get things started with an NFC South matchup with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading to or hosting the Carolina Panthers. Buccaneers are now a 9.5-point favorite. Over under at 48. Bucks minus 500. Panthers plus 375. Haas, which way are you leaning on an NFC South matchup? Big spread here. I think the Bucks need this to get in the playoffs, or I could be wrong there, but I can look that up while you're going if you want to give your take here.
Yeah, I mean, happy fantasy football championship to everybody out there who celebrates. If you're good enough to get in there, like me and two of them, definitely congratulations, and hopefully you're going to be rocking with us today. We got some obviously big plays for you on the card, but we also got your fantasy football questions if you got any. Obviously, Week 17 championship week. It's going to be tough though because people sit, and if you have any questions about who you need to play, we got answers. I'm in a tough spot in one of my leagues actually. Great time to start with this one. Chuba Hubbard, obviously not in the lineup today. Going to put a big damper on things for a lot of you guys out there. If you're looking to start somebody, I'm sure he's out there. I think it's Blackshear is probably going to be getting a majority of the workload there. Or I think they have one more guy out there too. What was his name? Can you help me out with that, Hoff? There was one more guy too.
They had not Jonathan Brooks because he's out too.
No, Jonathan Brooks is hurt. Chuba's hurt. Miles Sanders hurt. There was one more guy too. It was Blackshear, and there was one more. It was almost like Mike Davis, but it's not. Tough though.
I can't even guess.
If you've been relying on that 15, 16 points for Chuba Hubbard every week, yeah, obviously you got a big question mark and a big hole to fill in your lineup. Obviously, like I said, go ahead and ask us your questions whenever you got them, but obviously don't overthink this one too much. I think you got a pretty big incentive day for Mike Evans. I think he needs somewhere around a touchdown, 130 yards for some big money. And again, those plays are really fun to bet. Obviously, big things, big implications for your fantasy lineup, but also can help your wallet a little bit too. When these guys try and get these big time bonuses, extra $150,000, isn't going to be too bad for a guy like Mike Evans. So if you're trying to fire him up, definitely like a lot of big props in this game. I'm definitely going to be putting Mike Evans on my card. I don't know about you, Love.
Yeah, I do like that play. I lean on the Bucks minus a 9.5 here. I think this is a good teaser opportunity to get that down a little bit. I hate a 9.5-point spread, but I do think they cover this. I could see this be kind of a 24-27 to maybe 13-14. I think the Panthers are going to struggle without Chuba. Like you said, he's been kind of a huge part of that offense going forward. He kind of made a name for himself this year. He kind of stepped up as a lead back in the NFL, and they lose him to the IR for the rest of the season. That's going to be a tough blow for that Panthers team, but maybe a good thing. They kind of need to lose some games. They still need some pieces, get a good draft pick. And if you get that 5th win, you're not going to be having a good draft pick, at least for this year's standards, with how many teams have 3, 4, and 5 wins. I do lean on the Bucks here, minus a 9.5. I think that they'll get the job done. I think Mike Evans is going to be a huge part of that. Rachaad White as well. And then a couple fantasy questions coming in here for this one. Jalen McMillan or Alexander Madison. I'd go McMillan there. Baker's found a good connection with him. I know the Raiders are going with Madison as their lead back today. I just don't expect many points in that one.
Much to me.
That's going to be very touchdown-dependent play there if you go with Madison. Rachaad White or Garendo. I'd go Rachaad White. What about you?
Wow. I'd go Garendo. I mean, it's funny because shout out Beak Patel asked me this morning, bright and early.
They specified a PPR league as well. I should say that.
Yeah, but honestly, I think if you're going for that, Rachaad White's been playing good football too. He's got a little bit less of a committee to work with back there. So, I mean, if you're looking for that guaranteed touchdown, maybe lean towards that Rachaad White just because, they're going to give him the ball in the red zone. But I really don't hate the Garendo play at all either. I'd be curious to hear what else you have in your lineup, obviously, at this point too. It's going to be tough. I mean, these late in the season matchups. I was actually just going to ask you, Huff, do you think Bryce Young has any value today for fantasy owners out there? I mean, if you got a guy that's sitting, like your starting quarterback sitting, you think Bryce Young out there on the waiver wire would be a valuable pickup?
I think he could. I think he definitely put up points. A tough Bucs defense in a tough environment, but someone's saying here Panthers plus 9.5 and maybe money line could win this game as this is their playoff game. Interesting take there. I think Carolina needs to lose this game. Like I said, you do not want to get that 5th win. I know these players are playing. They don't care about the draft, but from a long-term perspective, I think Panthers would be more beneficial to lose this one. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they cover the 9.5. But another couple questions
Would you be
here.
shocked if they win though too? Like, would you be
I
shocked
would
if they
be
win?
I would be pretty surprised if they win. That would be an all-time collapse from the Bucks to lose to the Cowboys and the Panthers to end the season.
I know, but like that would be such a Panthers thing to like screw themselves out of a decent draft pick, win this
Yeah.
game for no reason. But Bryce Young's playing great football. Like I said, I mean, I definitely need to shout that out. Absolutely love seeing him get to be the quarterback that everybody thought he was when they drafted him.
And our next one here, Jonnu Smith or Chig from the Titans. Who do you go with
Wow.
PPR here?
Wow, that's a great question. You know what's so funny is I wish Alex was out here for this one because I was asking him all week. I've been trying to get Chigoziem Okonkwo into my lineup, but I just can't do it just because obviously, like I said, I'm in this first place games. I can't be putting out a guy like Chig Okonkwo just because he's had these big weeks, but he's also liable to put up 1 or 2 fantasy points and have you saying, why the hell did I play this guy? But at the same time, like I said, you want to ride the hot hand, you definitely can. I'd be a little bit weary playing Jonnu Smith with Tyler Huntley playing for the Dolphins today. Definitely a tough loss for Miami and all those fantasy owners out there. I'd maybe kind of lean towards Chigo Conquo in this one.
I probably would as well, especially with Mason Rudolph under center, a little bit more reliable guy to get the ball to your security blanket tight end there. I would go with Okonkwo there. A lot of questions about Jonnu or Okonkwo. I think we just answered that question there. Here's another one. Jonnu Smith, Jake Ferguson, Tucker Kraft, pick one. I would go Tucker Kraft. That game means the most.
Yeah, probably the same. I mean, it's tough to not play Jake Ferguson just because you drafted him so high, but especially if this has money on it, go with Tucker Kraft because like Huff said, you're going to want to play these guys with meaningful games just because obviously they got a quarterback throwing them the ball too. Tucker Kraft hasn't been popping off as much as he did when Huff was taking him every week, but definitely a good name to have there and not a terrible problem to have either.
Absolutely. We'll get through maybe 3 more, and then we'll get into our next game. Let's see here. Kincaid or Jonnu, Tua out.
I really don't love Jonnu in this spot. Like I
A lot
wish
of
I
people
could say,
a lot of people have Jonnu Smith.
yeah, because they picked him up when he's been going off. But like without Tua, it's going to be tough in that offense. I don't think Tyler Huntley's going to be throwing the ball as much as people would want him to. And even if he does, I don't necessarily think it's going to be Jonnu Smith being the guy. But I think I actually like him over Kincaid though.
I would agree there, especially in the Bills. That could be a blowout quick. That could be a James Cook and Josh Allen show.
Yep,
But
I
a
hope
couple
so.
more here. There's a stat on this one. Devontae Adams or Deebo Samuel. I would go Devontae. Shout out to Beak Patel. I know you're listening out there. Sent me a text this morning saying Aaron Rodgers at 499 career passing yards, and Devontae has caught his 200th and his 400th. Can he get 500? Do you like Devontae first team TD anytime? Maybe first touchdown. It was like 850 for the first touchdown, 250 for the first team, and I think plus 145 for the anytime. So that's definitely something I've had my eye on with Devontae. I think he does get in today. I think Aaron Rodgers has his tunnel vision on him. I definitely would go Devontae Adams over Deebo Samuel.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's just tough because, I mean, Deebo, the start of the year was such an unbelievable talent for the 49ers, but I don't know what happened there. He's kind of off the rails. I'd rather go with that safety blanket for Aaron Rodgers. Give me all that good vibes in New Jersey. Obviously, they want to get kind of right the ship at the end of the year. I'd rather go Devontae Adams in this one, no problem.
Yeah. We'll get into our next game, our second game on the slate, another divisional matchup with the Cowboys heading to Philly. Not necessarily the matchup we thought we were going to get on this, at least on paper preseason. Cooper Rush versus Kenny Pickett. Kenny and these Eagles are a 7.5-point favorite. Over under at 38. Eagles money line minus 375. Cowboys plus 300. Obviously, no Jalen Hurts, no Dak Prescott, no CeeDee Lamb. This is going to be a tough one to watch. This obviously looked like the game of the day on paper, probably preseason. This isn't going to be too good of a game. I can't believe the Eagles are a 7.5-point favorite here. My only play on this game is I love Saquon to get in the end zone. I like him first team specifically, or first. There's not good odds on the first team. I think his first touchdown's plus 280. So I would go with him on the first. That's probably my play here. Get the Eagles down the field. I think Kenny can do something in this game. He had a nice little connection with A.J. Brown, found him in the end zone. I also like the under 38. I think this will be a lower scoring game, kind of slower. Both of these backup quarterbacks will kind of come back to earth here. Obviously, Kenny lost last week, but it wasn't necessarily his fault. That drop by Devontae.
No, he didn't play. He didn't really play terrible either.
Yeah,
that was not,
I don't think he was the reason they lost that game at all. And Cooper Rush has looked good coming off a win against a Bucs team. I'll take the Eagles to win the game. I think they clinched the NFC East with a win here, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'll take the Eagles here to handle business. 7.5's tough. And not
The
even
team
worth
around
moving
him.
when Kenny Pickett's under center. So I would just avoid a side in this one unless anyone has any stats or anything that I'm missing. I just think the Cowboys are going to be tough to move the ball with Rico Dowdle's your featured offensive player, and your number one receiver being Brandon Cooks.
Do you fire him up though? That was actually going to be my question to you. I have him in my leagues. I have him on the bench in one of my leagues. I really don't know if I love playing him in this spot because I don't really understand what this offense is going to look like. Obviously, when he's not the
Also,
focal
like
point of the
divisional
offense, he
matchup,
does
like
pretty
Cooper,
well.
I could see Cooper Rush keep them hanging around, and they cover the 7.5 but lose.
Yeah, I know. It's just such a weird. Like, I would have liked to see like obviously one of these big playmakers in Dallas play to take a little bit of the heat off of him. But do you think Rico Dowdle has any fantasy value today?
I think it's. I think if they're going to score points, I think he'll definitely get one. If this is like a say this is 26-20, I would say, and the Cowboys have 2 touchdowns. I would bet he has one of them.
All right, and who else do you think has the other one? Brandon Cox,
Oh,
Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, like, they got to score somehow. That's the thing. Like, these matchups are tough, but at the same time, like, if this is the guy that's gotten you there week in and week out, and that'd be a bad flex play. I think I'm going to have him fired up in one of my leagues. You always see Rico Dowdle in my lineup for sure. One of the
Yeah,
great
we'll get
pickups I had this year, by the way, got me to the championship for sure.
absolutely. We'll rip through a couple more of these in the chat here. Adam Thielen or Tyreek Hill, like you said, Tyler Huntley under
Oof.
center for the Dolphins.
I don't love any of that. I
I think
mean,
you got to
maybe,
go
yeah,
Thielen with no Chuba Hubbard.
yeah, maybe Thielen, I guess, but like I think it's going to be more of like the. I mean, I don't know how he's been having pretty decent weeks with Bryce Young at the helm, but I mean it's tough matchup with that Bucks defense. I kind of like I like more of like the my guy Jalen Coker. I think they kind of like manufacture those guys the ball. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be the feed Adam Thielen day, but I definitely think he could hit pay dirt, and I like his matchup a lot better than Tyreek Hill
Yeah,
with Tyler Huntley.
yeah. We'll go through a couple more of these. Jerome Ford or Brian Robinson Jr.
Oof, I love Brian Robinson Jr. He's had a great year, 1,000
Especially on
yard
Sunday Night
receiver as a
Football at
rookie.
home. I think I go B Rob there.
Yeah, me too. Brian Thomas Jr.
Um, Couple people saying Cowboys plus 7.5, liking Dallas today on the spread here.
Wow.
Let's see. We already mentioned Rashad White or Garendo. I was on White, Haas on Garendo there. Cowboys plus 7.5 again. Let's see here. Pick 2, Jerome Ford, Devon Achan, or Tajay Spears.
Oof, love Tajay Spears this week. Kind of love Jerome
I
Ford.
was
I
looking at a
kind of like all
Spears
three.
anytime touchdown.
Yeah, I kind of like all three, honestly. Like, I'd love to hear what you have in your flex. I think they're going to have to rely heavily on Achan today. So,
I'd
um,
probably sit Ford out of those 3 personally.
yeah, me too. But like Ford usually pops off when they feed him the ball like that, and they've been giving the ball a ton. But that offense is so bad without anybody playing quarterback there. Is it
Yeah,
DTR? Is it Dorian Thompson Robinson?
it's DTR.
Yeah, that
And Chris has now
tough.
put this in here 4 or 5 times. Are we going Khalil Shakir or Jamison Williams? He really wants to
Jameson
know the
Williams.
answer to this.
Jameson Williams. Definitely Jameson Williams. I'm playing him in my matchup. He had an unbelievable week this last week, and I think he's going to have another one today. Fire up Jameson Williams. Don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, I would agree there. Jamison Williams, obviously the big playability there.
Go like
Um,
four for 138 and a touchdown. Something crazy like
and
that.
we'll do this one for our last one, and actually we'll save that for we're gonna get into that Packers Vikings game next. We'll just jump into this one. Colts at Giants. Not an exciting game here. Colts are still alive in a playoff race.
Wow.
7.5 point favorite in MetLife today for the Colts. Over under 40.5. Giants plus 300 on the money line. Colts minus 400. I'm going to go with the Colts minus 7.5 here. I think they handle them, keep their name in the race for for that last wild card spot. I think the Colts are a decent team, able to beat a terrible Giants team. I think 7.5 is a good spread for this one. It could be sweating it out late. I mean, Giants could give you 4 turnovers, and I wouldn't be surprised here. So I'm going to take the
Yeah.
Colts minus the 7.5.
Do you think any of those Giants guys have any fantasy value today? Like you firing up Malik Neighbors if you
Ugh.
got him?
He needs what 40 something yards for a 1,000-yard rookie season. I think they'll
Yeah.
make sure he gets that. Maybe a touchdown to go on top of that, but I just don't see many points here from the Giants today.
I know. Like my guy
A
Tyrone
a
Tracy, I would love.
low-key pesky Colts defense.
I know, like that's the thing. Like I would love to fire up Tyrone Tracy today, but I don't know if I can with that horrible Giants offense as of late. Like I said, people still need to get the ball though. So Malik
Yeah.
Neighbor is going to be still in my lineup for sure. I think he's going to crack the starting lineup for fantasy weekend, I mean, championship weekend. But another one of these games is very underwhelming. Going to have to toss this on just to see what the Colts got, just in case we have to see them down the line. But definitely don't expect much out of this one. And I
Yeah.
also think the Colts cover for sure, just because this Giants team is pathetic. And they need to
Yeah.
draft help for sure.
They
Did you?
need
Oh,
to
by the
they
way, while we're on the Giants, did you see Shadur posted that picture of
was there actually a Giants logo on the cleat?
I saw if I
That
was looking
looked
at the right
the
picture.
Giants logo looked photoshopped. The cleats were definitely red and blue, but the Giants logo did not look like that was actually on the
I
shoe.
know, like that. I don't know why that would be out there either. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Because
is that
also,
just
like,
some
he's a
clickbait?
dumbass if he's wearing Giants cleats and then some team ends up trading him, trading up to get him. Like,
Wait, where
I
are you
think
getting them?
I don't
Like
know.
you're calling out like make me some custom Giants cleats right now. Like I'm
He probably
definitely
called. I
going
mean, he has
to.
the Nike deal. He probably told him. He's like, "Hey, I need some Dion, whatever the Dion cleats is that the whole Colorado team wears. I need them in red and blue."
Yeah, like I
Knowing
don't know.
knowing him, he probably has them in black and silver, red and blue. All the
Man,
top five teams, just whatever happened. Red, white, and blue for the Patriot. You know what I mean? Just every top five team.
I just thought that was weird when I saw that come out. I'm like, really? Like, I don't know about all that. And I think he actually would be a good fit for New York. Obviously, you need to go to a big place like New York or Vegas, something like that, to obviously account for the Sanders name. But I don't know. I didn't like seeing that last. What was that? Yesterday, it popped
Yeah,
up on my feed. I was like, good lord, like
yeah,
Shadur
definitely,
Sanders.
definitely a bold move. But
Yeah.
this next game here is probably our best one on the slate. We'll introduce a game. There's a lot of questions on this one. Packers at Vikings. Vikings -1
Yep.
over under 49. Vikings money line on MDM is -120 now. Packers at +100. I am on Minnesota. I did announce this one. I
Wow.
think it was on Friday. I think the Vikings, obviously, they're the hotter team right now. Packers obviously have looked good the past few weeks. I'm going to go with the Vikings here. Tough divisional matchup. I know the Vikings beat them early on in the season. Vikings are playing for a 1 seed to give us a chance to week 18, do or die at either 1 or 5 seed between the Lions and Vikings next week. I'm going to go with the Vikings to handle their business today, get the win. I'm taking the money line. I think Minnesota gets the job done, but I'll let you give your take, and then I'll get into some of these questions that we have on this tough matchup here.
I love the Packers. Like, if there's a team that I think of a guilty pleasure team for me this year, it's been the Green Bay Packers. So much fun to watch. They plug and play their wide receivers whenever they have the chance to, and I love all of them. I would love to have this problem, and if I was a Packers fan, obviously you don't have Christian Watson in your lineup. If you have him in fantasies, he's out today. I think officially listed as out. So if you do have the ability to pick up Dontavion Wicks, would be a sneaky play. I think I'm going to play him in one of my leagues. He's been in
Mackey
my
had him
lineup.
first touchdown in that Monday night game.
Yeah, and you know what though, he's been in my lineup a few times this year, and I'm really happy to see him back in the realm of potentially cracking the lineup again. Big Dontavion Wicks guy, Jaden Reed. I think Jordan Love is going to be flinging that ball over the place. You know, Josh Jacobs is going to have a great day too. Definitely going to see him on my card. But honestly, I think you're right. Like, probably go with the Vikings to win this game. But you said, what was the spread on this one? 3.5.
For the Vikings,
Yeah,
1. Even
one.
1.
Oh God, yeah, wow. Whew. Hmm. I don't know. I really like the Packers. I kind of think I'm undecided. It's going to be a game time decision for me. If you see the spread or even just a pick on the card for this one, going to be more of a prop play for sure. But yeah, I love the Packers. I don't know if I can bet against them right now.
Speaking of prop plays in this game, we had a couple coming in. It was Tucker Kraft or Hawkinson in this one. Who do you go with?
Probably Hawkinson. I'm going with him in one of my leagues. I actually really like Hawkinson, especially against this Packers defense.
I probably would agree. I think Hawkinson's a featured receiver. Obviously, we know what Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson have been doing for these Vikings. I'm going to look at their receiving prop right now. I've been taking those a lot.
Even though Kraft
Receptions.
is just so touchdown dependent, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't get more than 4 or 5 receptions at the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's what he said at
I
4.5.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm good on that. Like I don't love anything to have to do with Tucker Kraft right now, unless you're really taking him to score. I think I'd have more of an upside and more of a big play potential for Hawkinson.
Yeah, I agree there. A couple other questions coming in here. Let's see. Devontae Smith or Josh Downs?
Devontae
Devontae Smith
Smith
with
probably.
Pickett under center.
Yeah, but didn't he go off last time he had Kenny Pickett? He caught a touchdown for sure, I think.
He
And
dropped the
it, I,
game ceiling. He dropped the game ceiling first down.
oof, yeah, but honestly, I think I'd still go Devontae Smith. I don't
I
know if I
probably
can
would
trust
too.
Josh. I don't know if I can trust Josh Downs, especially for all the potential that you need him for. Like, I mean, you definitely have the bigger play potential for Josh Downs, but he's going to have to be he's in a little bit better of a spot.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I think I'd still go Devontae Smith and then get mad if he doesn't make it.
Couple more here. More or less on Saquon, 114.5 rushing yards.
I'd probably say more because they're going to feed him. I think he's going
He
to get the
he
ball.
wants that record. I think he goes over. I think he at least gets the 115. That's a lot of rushing yards. Another pesky Cowboys defense. Obviously, a lot of people kind of overlooking that Cowboys team. They still have some pieces on defense. They have lost a lot, but they're definitely still playing down there in Dallas. Micah's kind of leading that defense, leading the way over there. I would go over that. I think he gets on or stays on pace for that record. And then the other one was AJ Brown over under 67.5 receiving yards.
Under, definitely under that one. I don't love
Yeah.
that at all.
We'll go through a couple of these quick. Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels.
Oh God, probably Jaden
Josh
Daniels.
Allen against the Jets, Jaden Daniels against the Falcons.
Yeah, Jaden
Both
Daniels.
teams at home.
Jaden Daniels.
I might have to say, I don't know. That's tough.
Well, then again, Josh Allen's going for the MVP. So
yeah, I think Josh Allen runs one in today. I also love Jaden Daniels to run one in on Sunday Night Football. So
I know
those are two very good options there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pick 2: Josh Downs, Tyreek Hill, Isaiah, and what's the last one? Garendo.
Oh, I'd go Garendo and Josh Downs.
I would too.
Definitely.
I'd sit Tyreek. It's crazy how often we've told people to sit Tyreek Hill this year.
I know, but you have to. You might
let's-
even get one. So like we might have to eat our words on that, but like get mad at me when he catches a touchdown and he goes like 2 for 36 and a touchdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not going to be getting the ball like that big deep ball like to see what Tua, but I don't think you can fire him up today.
Yeah, someone asking what we think about the Eagles game with Hurts out. We gave our takes there earlier on. It was one of our earlier games. I think the Eagles get the job done. A lot of people saying the Cowboys cover that 7.5. I'm going to avoid a side in that one. My play was Barkley, first touchdown, and the 115 is starting to pique my interest at what he said it on the rushing yards. Don't know if I'll take it there, but make sure you're staying tuned to our social media. We'll get all of our official plays out on these games. Let's go through a couple more of these. Cook or Devontae PPR league. I assume that's James Cook.
That's a great question.
I'd probably go Devontae with what I said with the touchdown. That stat that Abik gave me. I think he does get in today. I think he gets at least maybe 8 or 9 targets, and Devontae's going to haul most of those in.
Yeah, but honestly, you know what's tough? Like, who else do you have in your lineup? I'd be really, really interested to hear who you're sitting for either of those guys. I don't know how you can't play James Cook. He's been playing great, and I think he's going to continue to do so tonight too. Who else are you playing at running back?
Yeah. Couple more here, and then we'll get to our Sunday night game here. Tajay Spears or Adam Thielen, and then Josh Downs or Khalil Shakir.
Tajay Spears and Josh Downs.
Yeah, I would agree with both of those. Someone saying Aaron Jones 2 touchdowns in this Vikings game. I would like that against his old team here. And then last one before we get into Sunday Night Football, Jalen McMillan or Tracy for a flex.
No, Jalen McMillan. I love Tyrone Tracy, but I just can't do it this week.
I would
over
Jalen
McMillan. He's had some pretty big weeks, so ride the hot hand there. Way more upside.
Well, this another one. We'll do this, and then we'll get to the Sunday night. Let's see. Devontae Smith without Jalen Hurts or Romeo Doubs with no Watson?
Romeo Doubs.
You think?
I think Romeo Doubs. Yeah, just because I think he has bigger play potential. But yeah. I don't know, though, because like I said, I love Jaden Reed. I love Dontavion Wicks. I don't think he's going to be the guy. He's going to be a guy. But, I mean, you're going to be relying on big-time Kenny Pickett. Little tiny hands there.
Small. I forgot people called him small hands. That's so funny. But we'll get into Sunday Night Football. Keep the chats coming in. We'll get into everything else after this Sunday night game. We have a pretty good Sunday night game on the slate for us. The 8-7 Atlanta Falcons heading to DC to take on the 10-5 Commanders. Both of these teams are in the playoff race right now. Commanders -3.5 on the spread, over under 46.5. Commanders money line is -185. Falcons +150. I lean on the Commanders here, minus the 3.5. I think they stay in the race for that NFC East. I don't think they get it because I think the Eagles win today to lock things up. But I think the Commanders put themselves in a nice position to be what would they be? The Vikings or Lions are going to be the 5 seed. They could be the 6 seed. They're not going to be the 7 seed. I think most likely Commanders are going to be the 6 seed. I think they win today, handle business tonight on Sunday Night Football. I like Jaden Daniels to rush one in. That connection he's had with Terry McLaurin has been crazy the past couple of weeks. Maybe look at Terry McLaurin's receptions props. I will pull that up here while I'm talking about it. But I think the Commanders handle business here. They've looked good the past few weeks. They look like, obviously, they went through that kind of lull the middle of the season. Jaden Daniels looks like he's kind of found that groove again. I would also lean on McLaurin over 4.5 receptions. I feel like that's kind of a discount there. That should be maybe 5.5. I like the over 4.5 for Terry. I like Jaden Daniels to rush one in. I like the Commanders -3.5. I'm all left hand up today for the Commanders. Let me know which way you're going here.
Yeah, honestly, me too. And I hate to say it because I'm playing Jane Daniels in one of my championships this week, and I know he's going to just screw me. I'm going to have to sweat this one out. Luckily, the team I'm playing didn't have anybody do anything too big yet, so I'm hoping he doesn't go too nuclear. But what do you think about any props from the Falcons too? Do you have any big plays from them?
I liked what I saw from them with Penix under center last week. He didn't really necessarily win the game by himself. He didn't necessarily lose it. He did have a tip ball off Kyle Pitts that ended up being an interception there. I would maybe look at my guy Drake London. I think he'll kind of find that connection that he had with Kirk there. Let me see what he was set at. I just had the receptions pulled up, but more of a Drake London touchdown guy. Let me see what he's sitting at on the touchdown. Probably some good odds. He hasn't scored in a couple weeks. Plus 125. I would like that for the Falcons. I'm big on Drake London. I think he'll get in for them.
Well,
Bijan
Bijan,
obviously sitting there -190. Just you have
yeah.
to lay the juice with that one. But I like Bijan. I like Drake London for the Falcons.
Yeah, I agree with honestly, I agree with all of that. And honestly, like I'm really excited to see what Michael Penix has to in Sunday Night Football. Big stage for him. I mean, they drafted him high. Let's see what he can do. That left-handed quarterback. Your boy Drake London. Obviously, they got a lot of good weapons there, but I don't think they have enough to get it done against this Commanders team that's looked really good and really bad. So it depends on which Commanders team we get. Depends on which Jane Daniels we get. But I'd probably say give me the Commanders in this one, just because I'm playing him and he's going to make me sweat on my fantasy football championship.
Yeah. We'll get back to the chat here. We got a lot coming in. Josh Downs or Khalil Shakir. I would go Josh Downs there. Aaron
I
Jones.
like Khalil Shakir today though too.
Really? Over Josh Downs though?
No, I don't like him over Josh Downs, but I do like Shakir today.
Yeah. Aaron Jones 2 touchdowns. Like that as well. Let's see. No, someone saying no. Atlanta's going to beat Washington tonight. Kyle Pitts, big game, going to go off today. I think that's Ace's burner account in our chat here, trying to hype up Kyle Pitts. We saw that last week. Doesn't matter which guy's under center. That guy is just not good at football or catching. I mean, maybe he's good at blocking. I've never been big on the Kyle Pitts experiment, and I think the Falcons should give up on that pretty soon.
Jonnu Smith 2.0.
Yeah, honestly. Maybe maybe he goes to a different team and does good. Like I think the Falcons have broken him, but let's see here. Start Colts defense versus the Giants or Miami versus the Browns with no Tillman or Njoku.
I was in the same boat, and I ended up picking up the. Did I pick up? I think I picked up the Dolphins. I think I'm playing the Dolphins, so I probably have to say Dolphins. Let me see.
Okay.
Did I go Dolphins? I think I did because I mean they're projected a lot of points. I think they're going to put up a pretty decent.
I stream started the Falcons defense last week against the Giants. I was kind of going against the Giants with whatever defense I needed, whoever they were playing. It worked out for me for a little bit, but
I really don't mind the Dolphins against the Browns though at all. Like I mean, I don't think the Browns are really going to be doing much on offense. So definitely don't be mad if you play the Dolphins.
Yeah, I see another one here. Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I would go Darnold. They're in a big game.
Yeah, definitely.
Tajay Spears or Thielen? I'm going to go Spears. I think he gets in the end zone today. A lot of people asking Josh Downs or Khalil Shakir. A lot of people have these guys.
I just think Josh Downs has more upside, but I really don't mind the Shakir play at all.
Yeah. Another one, Jalen McMillan or Tracy. We said McMillan earlier.
McMillan.
Let's see here. James Cook or Aaron Jones. That's a good one. I might lean Aaron Jones just in this matchup because I think the Bills are going to maybe take it a little easy today.
I don't know. I really like James Cook. I think he's going to have a big day today. I don't think you can really go wrong with either of them, though. But I mean, I think if you're going upset, probably go Aaron Jones because he's going to have to score and they're going to be feeding him the ball. But I don't know. I really like James Cook today too.
Yeah. A couple more here. Drake London or Tajay Spears. I'm going to go Drake London. I think he does get the receptions that'll get him up there. Spears going to be a very touchdown dependent play. But even though I do think he gets in, I think both of those guys scored it. Good ones here. Calvin Ridley or Jamison Williams, and then Devontae Adams or Jamison Williams. Which way do you go there?
I'd probably go Jamison Williams over Calvin Ridley just because I think he has higher upside.
Yeah.
And I'd rather go
and a way better quarterback throwing the ball.
Yeah, and I'd go Devontae Adams over Jameson Williams just because safer floor.
Yeah. Keep your comments coming in here. We're gonna get to. We'll build us a couple of maybe our favorite anytime touchdown plays. Obviously, Hoss, we usually do the four-legger. I was thinking maybe we each pick two and do two teamers.
Yeah, let's
Maybe
do
we
it.
actually get a couple chances of hitting here. Do two separate ones. Two-leggers. I'll let you know the couple that I liked. I've kind of already said it a few times.
Yep.
Tajay Spears plus 115. These are just MGM odds. These are not best prices.
Like it.
Tajay Spears plus 115. I like Bijan minus 190. I like. Let's see here. Maybe Jonathan Taylor for the Colts. Do you have any that are piquing your eye? Maybe we do like a Taylor
Devontae
Spears.
Adams. I like
Devontae
Devontae
Adams,
Adams to
another good
score.
one.
Yep, I like
Let's see
Devontae
here.
Adams. I actually, you know who else I like to score too? Brian Thomas Jr. I like him to score a touchdown today too.
I took him last week, dude. He went from plus 180 last week to this week. He's minus 120 to score.
Oof, maybe not then. I think we can get a better play than that. Let's see who else we got. Let me think.
I'm looking
What
at
about a
these right now.
What about a McMillan touchdown against the Panthers? Like, I mean, he's been having some really big weeks, pretty touchdown dependent, sitting around 5 or 6 receptions a game. But he's been scoring I think 2 weeks straight. Yeah, 2 weeks straight, scored a touchdown. Bryce Young's been playing good football. I mean, oh geez, I think it's 3 weeks straight. Yep, 3 weeks straight
Who's
with 2
that?
touchdowns. Jalen McMillan. That wouldn't be a bad play and pretty good money too. I'm sure. What are his odds to score this week?
Let me see. At least on MGM, we have. Where's he at? Where's he at? Plus 200 on MGM.
Yeah, that really wouldn't be a bad one. He's been scoring a lot. I honestly, what if I think my play and on one of those we're gonna do a pick two, so I'd go Devontae Adams and McMillan, and I think I'd go Brian Thomas Jr. and maybe James Cook. Yeah, I think I like that a lot.
I like James Cook. That was the other one I didn't say. Let's see. I would do that. Devontae. Would you say Devontae and
McMillan.
McMillan and Bron? Let me write these down.
Yep, let's do it. Cooking up early on a Sunday. What else you got going on?
Devontae McMillan.
Championship week. I'll bet on my guys to score. I think they're going to.
And what was the other one? Brian Thomas
Jr. and James Cook.
That's it. Okay. James Cook. Okay. All right. Yeah. We got two-leggers. If you want to be crazy and throw all four of those guys in a parlay, definitely will be over plus 1,200. But we're going to separate it this week, try to bring home a couple winners after hitting our plus 1,200 parlay last week. Now up on the year with the team parlays here. So that's obviously a plus. Cashed on, I think it was Bijan, Jamar, Barkley, and Laporta last week. This week we're going with Devontae Adams and Jalen McMillan in one. And the other one we're going Brian Thomas and James Cook. Mix and match those as you like. Those are our 4 touchdown picks for this week.
Oh, you know what else I love too, though, honestly, is Josh Jacobs. Definitely without Christian Watson. I
like both running backs to score in that game. I think you could take that literally a same game parlay, take both of those guys to score.
Love that, actually. That's a good call.
Let's see. Anything else? You got any other games you want to touch on that we didn't necessarily touch on? Obviously, we kind of went through the Devontae stuff with the Jets. Couple bad games today as well. Raiders Saints, that's a terrible game. Titans Jags, another tough game. Obviously, we just took we both said we like 2 touchdown scores in that Titans Jags games with Spears and Thomas. We went over Colts Giants. Dolphins Browns. I lean on the Dolphins there, even though Tyler Huntley's under center. I'm going to avoid that spread there or a money line play.
Pro Bowl quarterback though.
Yeah. So is Mac Jones, but we'll see what happens here. We have not a great Sunday slate. Definitely pushing our luck here with some of these games being very good or very bad. We're gonna end things off with a nice game between Green Bay and Minnesota, like we said, and then Sunday Night Football. Falcons at Commanders. We at least get two good games to end the day. And then Monday Night Football tomorrow, obviously, is Lions 49ers. Make sure you're staying tuned. We'll get our official takes out there for that game there. Make sure you're staying tuned to our social media. HitTheBooks.pod on Instagram. HitTheBooks_pod on Twitter. We'll get all of our official plays out there. Let me pull up our records as we stand for Week 17 right now. Obviously, we had the Christmas Day games. We had the Thursday Night Football. We had Saturday Football. So we already got a lot of plays out this week. Right now, I am leading the way at 5-4 over 4, or at 4.07 units on the week. Jesse there at 3-1 plus 1.82. Mackey at 1-2 minus just over zero point 0.3 units. Ace at 5-7 negative 1.27 units. And Haas, you are in the basement for this. I think it's the first time you've been pretty hot since you started here, but only 5-7. You got fucked on two. I think it was the Jamar Chase one that was minus
Yeah,
159,
Jamar Chase.
minus 2.15 units. But let's tune back into the chat here before we go. We got a couple coming in here. Cowboys over Eagles. We're both on the Eagles there. Haas, do you have the chat pulled up? Mine just froze. So give me 1 second here to pull this back
Yeah,
up.
let's see. Cowboys over Eagles to win. Yeah, yep. Cowboys, the spread looks free. Brian Thomas
Madison or
Jr. and Devon
Garendo?
Achane. I actually really like Brian Thomas Jr. Like I said, I'm putting him in my touchdown parlay. Definitely think he scores, but I like the workload for Devon Achane. I don't know how efficient he's been when he's had Tyler Huntley at the helm. So maybe take a look at the past games you've seen Tyler Huntley in a Dolphins jersey, then make a decision there. But I think that Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have a good day for sure.
Yeah. Alexander Madison or Isaiah Garendo. Gage 767 needs to know. Big matchup there. Had to stream Alexander Madison, I'm assuming. I'd still go with Garendo.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Definitely like Garendo this week.
Thielen, Ridley, or Jamison Williams, non-PPR. I assume you're saying to pick one of those guys. I'd maybe
Jamison
go
Williams
Jamison
for
Williams.
sure.
Yeah, that's if you're picking two, go throw Thielen in there. I'm not big on Calvin Ridley's matchup today. I know he's playing a weak Jags defense and his former team. I always forget about that he was a Jaguar and then
Yes, he was.
uh,
Quiet Jaguar, though.
yeah, he was also in Atlanta, but that's where he got caught with the gambling. Rashad White or Tyrone Tracy coming in here. I'd go Rashad White today. I know Bucky Irving's minus 200 to score a touchdown in that matchup. Rashad White's also sitting there at minus 110, so Vegas thinks he gets in. He's great in a PPR league, so if you're playing a PPR league, I definitely would lean on Rashad White. Who was on the second parlay? Thomas Jr. and James Cook was the second parlay. So make sure I'll knock those or repeat those again. Devontae Adams and Jalen McMillan and Brian. I do not know the official odds on those. They will be on our parlay card when we post everything on social media. So you'll get the official odds there. I'm sure you guys are looking wherever you place your bets at, on MGM, FanDuel, wherever it's at. So let's see here. Garrett Wilson or Jerome Ford. I'd go Garrett Wilson there. I know Jerome Ford's obviously the lead back there without lean on Garrett Wilson here. What would you think?
I would agree. I mean, just because I think they're going to have problems moving the ball for Cleveland, but I really don't mind the play of Jerome Ford either. I actually think you're going to get similar production out of those two guys just because I think Jerome Ford can break one. And I definitely think if they do score, he's going to be the guy to do it. But definitely with the upside, I'd probably kind of stay away from him in that question there.
Here's another good one. Start two: Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, Tajay Spears, and Brian Thomas. We said like three of those guys to score. So
Adams
I
and
guess
Brian Thomas Jr.
I'd go Adams and Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see here. Jerome Ford, Jaden Reed, or Devontae Smith for a flex.
Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I'd probably go Jaden Reed.
Just because of the upside.
Yeah. And then we'll get to a couple more here. Keep them coming in. We'll go. We'll keep ripping through these chats here for a couple more minutes here. So let us know your last minute questions. Fantasy. Let us know your best bets for the day. We want to get to all that. Like I said, if you want to know where you can find our plays, hit the books.pod on Instagram. Hit the books_pod on Twitter. We'll get everything out for these slate today by say noon. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. Maybe even 11:30 on some of them. I'm already locked in on the Vikings on the money line. So if anyone wants to tail that line is dropping now to minus 120. I got it minus 106. But we got a couple more here. Josh Downs or Drake London, half-point PPR. I'm going to go Drake London. What about you?
I'd probably go Drake London too, just because I think he's going to catch a touchdown.
Absolutely. And then shout out Beeper, Raiders defense or Browns defense. Both going up against putrid offenses with backup quarterbacks.
Probably go with the Raiders, honestly.
I probably would as well. And then this another good one. Kittle or Brock Bowers. Kittle or Brock Bowers.
Oh, Kittle probably. Just because without their strong running backs in the play, I think George Kittle's just a safer option.
I kind of lean Bowers there just because of the success that he's had, but that's definitely a coin flip there. That could go either way.
Yeah, I don't think you have a problem. He'd play in either one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, the parlays are Devontae Adams and Jalen McMillan and Brian Thomas Jr. and James Cook there. Two-leggers. If you want to take it in a four-legger, that is on you. We are taking it separately. It's two-leg anytime touchdown parlays. So make sure you follow along with our plays on hitthebooks.pod. Get those out there. Throw your last-minute questions in the chat. We got a couple more coming in here for Tajay Spears or Aaron Jones. I'm going to go Aaron Jones there.
Yeah, definitely
Former
go Aaron Jones.
former team, kind of the whole narrative. I'll go with Aaron Jones there, and
Yeah.
then Alexander Madison or Amir Abdullah. They're on the same team. I guess you got to go Madison.
Ugh.
He's technically the starter.
Yeah, he is, but like Abdullah usually scores the sneaky touchdown. I don't love Alexander Madison, but I don't love Amir Abdullah either. I'd probably, honestly, I like Abdullah more, but oof, probably flip a coin there and see what you get. Maybe put your
Yeah,
heads together and pray
they're
on a Sunday.
They're also saying Spears has a nice matchup, though. I do agree. I said I think Spears gets in the end zone. I think there's a possibility that Aaron Jones kind of has maybe 60 rushing yards, a couple receptions. If you're in a PPR league, Aaron Jones gets that ball to the backfield, and I do think he finds the end zone as well. So whichever way you want to go with that, if it's a PPR league, I definitely would lean on Jones there. Definitely not, knock in the Tajay Spears play if that's who you end up going with there. James Cook or Josh Allen. I hope you're asking for an anytime touchdown parlay or play because those guys do not play the same position. I think both get in, but I'd take James Cook if I had to bet one of them.
Yeah, easier to play. I definitely go James Cook. I love James Cook.
Yeah. And last one here, Tyrone Tracy or Devon Achane.
Tyrone Tracy, my guy, gonna take him all the time. But even though I do think like I said, take a look at the last time Devon Achane played with Tyler Huntley. See what his stat line was. I don't remember it being anything crazy, to be honest with you. The offense does not look good when he's playing quarterback. It's a completely different ball game. I definitely feel a little bit more safer with Tyrone Tracy just because I think he gets the ball fed to him a little
Yeah.
bit more than Achane does.
We get a last couple here. They're still coming in. We want to make sure we get to most of these. Sit the Dolphins and Dolphins defense. I would there. Obviously, Dolphins defense might have a good day up in Cleveland, just dealing with some tough weather and obviously not much going for the offensive side of the ball. So a lot of the pressure going to be on that Miami defense. Haas, I know you said you picked them up in fantasy, so you definitely could probably relate to that. Vikings or Packers, we're on opposite sides of that game. I'm on the Vikings, Haas on the Packers. We'll have to see what Mackey and Ace end up doing there. And then last one, start Devontae Adams or Malik Neighbors. Devontae.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna sign off here. Make sure you're staying tuned to our Monday Night Football edition where we have Lions 49ers, another great game, at least what it looked like on paper. But we know this 49ers team is not what everyone expected coming into the season, sitting at 6-9. So make sure you're staying tuned for our Monday Night Football segment for, like I said, between Detroit and San Francisco. You can get all of our plays at hitthebooks.pod on Instagram, hitthebooks_pod on Twitter. Leave your last second chats in there. We'll check this one more time before we sign off here for your last second fantasy questions. Best of luck in your fantasy championships. Best of luck on your bets today. Yeah, nothing else coming in here. Dolphins or Browns? I guess they're asking for a spread play. Would you take the Dolphins -3.5 or Browns +3.5? Gun to your head. Last chat we're going to get to. Let them know what you're going with.
Give me the Dolphins. Ugh.
Yeah, I would say give me the Dolphins there as well. Tyler Huntley's beat that Browns team before. He's a former AFC Norther. He knows what he's doing.
He knows how to do it too. Wait, I got
yeah.
one more question for you, Hoff, honestly, before we sign off here. Who at this point is your MVP?
I saw the numbers yesterday. It is crazy that they're like discounting Lamar like that. What are the odds on the MVPs right now?
Tell me what you got on MGM, honestly.
Let me see.
Because I honestly don't think it necessarily is great odds. I don't think the odds really speak to who's actually going to get the MVP, but I want to hear what they are.
I'm trying to find it. Futures. I might be better off finding it on my phone. I know exactly where it is. Let me see. Oh. Yeah, it wants to show me like Buffalo Bills first drive stuff. Like, no, I just want to see who the MVP odds are going to be. NFL futures. Let's see. Awards. They make it so hard to find this shit.
Yeah, no, because they got to hide everything. I just want to hear it one more time.
Josh Allen is on it right now on MGM -225 for Josh Allen or +175 for Lamar. So they have dropped Lamar a lot.
What do you think?
If Lamar go, I mean, what he just did against the Texans. What do you guys have? One more game against Cleveland. Allen plays the Jets and then the Patriots.
Yep.
Ugh.
I don't even know if Lamar's going to play in that game, but I don't think
That's
he's going
the
to
other
play.
thing is I don't think like if mm,
It's just
that's
funny, just
tough.
because I wanted to. I needed to
I'm
just
gonna
bring it
say
up.
Allen just because I think they want to give it to him so bad.
I know, and everybody loves to say like, "Oh, he has this terrible supporting cast," but literally, like, look who he has. Like James Cook is like he really is great.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, like Dalton Kincaid, first round pick, like third ranked O line. Like, I don't understand why everybody's so quick to say Josh Allen. I mean, Lamar Jackson's been unbelievable. I just needed to close it out with that one more take for everybody, just so that everybody has that conversation in their heads too. Like I said, I haven't been too focused on the MVP race, but everybody's been talking about it. So I figured I'd throw my 2 cents in. Lamar Jackson should be the MVP on all accounts. I think he's played an unbelievable year of football, his best year, I think, as well, statistically speaking. I think when he's on the field and they're playing great, obviously Derrick Henry and him are unbelievable duo, and I really can't wait to see what they do in the postseason. But Lamar Jackson,
Absolutely.
MVP in the flesh. Woo woo.
I closed the chat. Hoss, do you still have it pulled up?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Put
I
Lamar
think
on the
Lamar.
Bills and Josh on the Ravens. Who's better?
Lamar. Think about Lamar and James Cook. It's gonna be the same thing.
But Josh Allen with Derrick Henry would be so crazy. Like
I know, but yeah, it really would. But
and
I still
Zay
don't think.
Flowers and like another legit receiver. He'd make Bateman really good. I think the Ravens are a better
You know what's
roster.
funny is I think the offense would look so different if Josh Allen was the quarterback of
Yeah.
the Ravens. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
you know who I think would be unbelievable is Rashad Bateman. I think he'd be like he would unlock Rashad Bateman for
Yeah.
sure. But I think if you put Lamar on the Bills, he'd be insane. That team would be unstoppable.
Yeah. I agree. Thanks for listening. Make sure you're staying tuned for Monday Night Football between the 49ers and Lions. But other than that, that's going to do it for us for Week 17. Make sure you catch all of our plays. Hit the books.pod on Instagram. Hit the books_pod on Twitter. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Football.